Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about self love today and doing a self love detox. So, this is probably one of the most common ways that we will try to help us detach from the things that do not serve us and that don't help us anymore. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pin this to the top so that we all know what we're talking about today. Hi, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is something that's really common that a lot of people do when you start to feel overwhelmed and you start to feel stressed and you start to feel emotionally drained and you start to feel like all the things that you're doing aren't really working when it comes to feeling good about yourself, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to healing. A lot of people will enter into a self-love detox, right? Where you will eliminate all the things that have been distracting you and make you not feel good and not making you feel loved. And if you've been following this platform for a while, one of the things that I would always say when I talked about my healing journey and a lot of the things that I would see other women do is talking about how people will do these self-love insular, detoxes to try to feel better. And then when they're done with their self-imposed isolation, they don't feel any better, right? And so what I want to talk about today is how to do a self-love detox in a healthy way. How to do it in a way to where you're not running from your problems, but that you're actually moving towards the solution. So that whenever you emerge, you can keep the momentum going with everything that you've accomplished during your detox, right? So if that is something that you would like to hear about, you're in the right place. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, hi there. My name is Sheena Lachey. I'm the founder of Black Girls Heal. I am a love addiction coach and trauma specialist, former licensed therapist. And what I do here is I help women heal from the symptoms of love addiction, love avoidance, and love deprivation. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it a little bit slower. I'm talking kind of fast because I have to go pick up my son. So, but I wanted to get this in today. I help women heal from the symptoms of love addiction, love deprivation, and love avoidance, and the trauma that causes it to make way for healthy love in their life. And so healing from trauma is a part of it, and sometimes we need to be in these containers to feel better. So y'all know that one of the ways that helps me help you is interaction. So if you're watching this live, go ahead and put a heart in the chat and let me know that you are here and let me know that you're ready for the first one. So again, when I talk about self-love detoxes, people are really just trying to get away from pain, right? You're trying to get away from triggers. You're trying to get away from people that may be draining you. You're trying to break the habits of maybe self-soothing or self-medicating, right? So whether or not it is relationships and sex, which is what I talk about here, whether or not it is, overeating, overworking, numbing out, people try to enter these moments of inclusion to try to reset, right? So I think that that's a really good thing for you to do. But you want to make sure, the reason why the self-love detoxes don't work is because what usually feeds into these issues are how we relate to other people and the triggers that come up when we are in relationship with them, or what comes up when we try to take care of ourselves, right? So it's going to make more sense when I talk about the things to keep in mind. So here's the first one that I'm going to tell you to do. When you're doing a self-love detox, I'm going to really encourage you to prioritize things that make you smile. Prioritize things that make you laugh. Prioritize things that bring you pleasure. What I often see that happens when people do these, moments of like they're going to reset and heal themselves and you kind of work through what's been going on, is they do things that make them calm. They'll do things that are about finding balance, but there's nothing that actually brings them joy and lights them up, right? So there may be a lot of yoga, there may be a lot of meditation, there may be a lot of breathing, which are all really good and incredible things to incorporate. There may be a lot of therapy, but all those things are still keeping you in a neutral state, right? So you want to get to a place to where you can feel pleasure and feel happiness and feel joy without you being afraid that something bad is going to happen. You want to be able to get to a place where you feel love and you feel connected and you feel like you're in bliss and you feel like you're on cloud nine and you're not waiting for the shoe to drop. You're not waiting for the next storm to come. You want happiness and joy to be your normal, right? Like you want that to be your everyday experience. You don't want that to be an every once in a while thing. You don't want that to be, dependent on other people. You want happiness and joy to be for you. So if that's the case, you have to start practicing building that happiness and laughter and joy. One thing that I'll see is that a lot of people will do these functional, healthy things, but there is no pleasure. So they'll work out all the time. They might even be doing a job they really love. They might even be helping other people. But when I ask them, when is it that you play? When is it that you are creative? When is it that you are just doing something and it lights you up and I can see the sparkles in your eyes, right? What is it that you do? And they don't have those things. And it's not even about having hobbies necessarily. It can be a hobby, but what is it that actually sets your soul on fire that you're doing, right? Yolanda says, amen. Hi, Curly. Miss Butterfly says, woo, my Lord, right? And so sometimes the self-love detox, if we're not careful, it can be a really beautiful way that we're trying to self-heal, but it can be another way that we just kind of come inside of ourselves, right? It's easy for us to go here, right? It's easy for us to go underneath. Like if this is neutral, this is pleasure, this is happiness, right? It's okay for us to be here. Here doesn't rock the boat. Here doesn't give us any disappointment. Like I try to go and make something happy and then make myself happy, and then I find out I can't be happy. I find out that I'm happy for a little bit, but then, something happens that takes it away, right? And when you're pursuing pleasure and when you're pursuing joy and when you're pursuing laughter, all the triggers, all the things that have led you into the self-love detox, they're going to come up, right? Because the thing about happiness and the thing about pleasure and the thing about joy, if it's something that you've not really been able to experience for long periods of time, those are very uncontrollable emotions, right? Like, you know how to be like in structure. You know how to solve a problem when something comes up. You know how to play damage control, but just to be happy and just be out there and be living, right? Without a backup plan, without a contingency plan, and just for that to be your truth, you don't know how to do that. So as you're pursuing that happiness and joy, all of the thoughts that are like, do I deserve this? Is this possible for me? Is this something that is for people like me? Is this something that I can hold on to? And as those thoughts come up, that is what you are looking to heal, right? That is what you want to pursue during the self-love detox. The only Camry says, what if we don't know what makes us happy? So that means that you need to be on a journey to find it. Do not get stuck in all the negative thoughts. So here's another set of negative thoughts. I should know this by now. Or I used to be happy, but then some things happened. I got a breakup, tragedies happened. I lost my job. Someone passed away, something happened, and my happiness went away. Okay, it went away, but now you get to discover what makes you happy. Maybe you're someone who's been a people pleaser and codependent your whole life. And, as you start to heal and learn more about yourself, you've realized you've kind of been a shell, right? You learned that you've kind of been doing what other people have wanted you to do. And so now you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and you don't know who you are. Now you get to discover her, right? And even if you did know the things that make you happy, the truth is we change. Like we change every 7 to 10 years. Like the Sheena that I was 7 years ago is not the Sheena I am now at all. And I love that stage of Sheena and what she brought to me and what she loved and what she enjoyed. I was actually meditating about that today and just thinking about her and just having a smile on my face, right? Well, actually, I was thinking about my college me, which was like 14, 15, Lord, longer than that. Don't let me start to have to do math. But I was smiling about that earlier version of me and like what lit her up and what made her happy and how she presented. And I love that for her. She was having a great time. But that's not me now. And what makes me happy now is different. And so it's okay to evolve. It's okay to grow. It's okay to discover yourself as you go through life. So let me know if that makes sense. The Aishia, I think that's how you say your name, says, that's me. I'm trying to redefine. Awesome. Miss Butterfly Free says, I can relate to this. I don't know what makes me happy. I do what I need so I can go forward with the day and not be stuck, right? And so a lot of times we can be in these like routines and we're waiting for something to wake us up. We're waiting for something that will excite us. We're waiting for something that's going to be that missing puzzle piece. In my world, and like the population, the audience, the people that I teach here, a lot of times what people are searching for to fix that hole and to fill that hole is a relationship, is a partnership, is some type of forgiveness or some type of validation, right? And so it's learning that you are the common denominator, but not in an accusatory or shame-based way, but in the type of way that is you are the answer, right? The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy was told, you have always had the answers you need inside of you. That is you. Okay, so for those of you who are just now joining me, I'm talking about how to do a self-love detox in a healthy way. This is when we may get to a place of overwhelm. We're just like, something needs to change. I just need to stop what I'm doing and I just need to focus on me. How can we do this in a healthy way that does not instigate and perpetuate the things that lead us into love avoidance, love addiction, and love deprivation, to where when we exit our self-imposed, time of isolation, that the same problems occur that were occurring before. We don't want that. Okay. So the reason why I haven't said why I'm talking about this topic either, I'm talking about this topic because, I see the trends in the community. Usually the things that I see or that I'm experiencing are the same things that my audience is experiencing, or the people, audience being y'all, or even people in my friend groups are experiencing. And so I'm seeing a lot of people just really try to come home to themselves and trying to learn about themselves. And so that is why this is our topic for today, for you to learn how, if this is the next stage for you to do it fully. I have a workshop coming up in October that is called the Reclaiming Me workshop. And I'm going to be talking about how do I reclaim myself, find myself. There are several of you who just said, I don't know who I am. I don't know what makes me happy. I don't know what brings me joy. That's exactly the things that we're going to be talking about. It's an all-day workshop on Saturday, October 21st. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, but it's also going to be live virtually for people who cannot travel. And so that we can learn how to reclaim these parts of ourselves that we feel like we've lost, to feel safe in our bodies, to feel joy, to feel hope, to feel optimism, to feel connection, to all of that. Right? And so you can register by going to blackgirlsheal.org/reclaim. And you can also just go to the website and find it under our events. And my recovery school students, you get a discount. So make sure you use your discount code. All right. Who's ready for number 2? Put a 2 in the chat if you are ready for the second way to do a self-love detox in a healthy way. Put a 2 in the chat, a 2 in the chat. Thank you. Okay. So second thing that you need to do if you're going to do a self-love detox in a healthy way is you are going to clue into sources that have what you want and not the ones that do not. I'm going to say that again. You need to pay attention to the sources that have what you want and take out the ones that do not. So sometimes, especially in my group chat today, in one of my group chats today, my friends were talking about they were doing a social media detox for their own reasons, right? And so they eliminated their social media, which is great. However, for those who stay on social media or you have other sources, I think sometimes it's important to realize that some sources that make us feel good are actually not helping us grow, that they're commiserating with our pain. So what's an example? An example is, let's say that you are going through a lot of relationship difficulties or dating difficulties if you're someone who's single, or full relationship in case you're in a partnership. So let's say what's on your FYP, your For You page on TikTok, on Instagram, or whatever, are a lot of videos and reels of people who are also having dating problems, people who are in messed up marriages, these incel podcasts, right? And then a stitch or a reply to those podcasts, talking about why these people are not worth anything, and lots of things that are talking about red flags in relationships. Those types of sources may make you feel affirmed and validated and like, okay, it's not me. I'm not crazy. Okay, yeah, like this is totally my experience. These are my people. However, all it's doing is continuing to feed you images and thoughts and experiences of things that you do not want in your life. You want examples of people who have found connection and joy and happiness and trust and love and are joyous in it. You want examples of relationships that work out. You want examples of people who are successfully connected. So whatever it is that you're working on, whether or not you're looking for peace, whether or not you're going through a period of unemployment and you're starting to feel like really discouraged, whether or not, and I'll stick with that one. Let's say that's what you're going through right now. And you're starting to feel really discouraged, right? And so you have a lot of FYP people on your social media who are talking about like workplace drama, or they're talking about like bad bosses. And so it feels good for you in a way because you're like, okay, at least I don't have to deal with that, right? So now I'm going to make sure that I look for a job or look for an opportunity that's healthier, right? But you've only fed yourself with examples of negativity. You want to look for examples that have what you want so you can feel it in your body, so you can know what it feels like to be happy, so that you know what it feels like to be safe, so that you know what it feels like to be connected to that. Otherwise, energetically and in your mind, you're going to be attuned to all these negative situations, and that's going to be the normal. So when they start to come across your path, and let's say going back to the relationships one, like you're like, okay, I'm going to look out for the red flags, and you keep meeting people with red flags, you're like, dang it, everybody's got red flags. Well, I've actually been attuning myself to that, right? And attuning myself with good intentions so that I can look out for it, but it's now in my psyche, it's now in my unconscious. You need to rewire yourself. Your self-love detox needs to be a time of rewiring, of resetting, of realigning, of changing your perspective, right? Yolanda says that makes sense. Great. Okay. So again, number 2 is clue into sources that have what you want. Eliminate the ones that do not. Eliminate the ones that are only talking about the problem and they don't talk about the solution. You want to pay attention to people, to solutions, to people who have the solutions, who give it to you, who embody it, who have experienced it before, and can help you get there, right? Versus the ones who can wax poetic about it and like make a really great think piece. You know, let's move past the think pieces. Let's move past the no one's talking about, and let's move into how do we create what we want, right? Okay, I see that's a problem. Now where do we go from here, right? Look for people who give you that next thing and who have it and don't complain about it. Same thing with kids. You know, if you are struggling with your kids and if they're getting on your nerves, clue into people. You know, as a mom, I know that it gets hard and I know that it's frustrating and I know that's exasperating, but seeing people who don't like their kids ain't gonna help me be happier with my child. You know, like I want to find people who embody and show me how to have joy and how to stay optimistic and how to meet my child where he is, right? So that's number 2. Number 1, for the person who asked what the first one is prioritize the things that bring you pleasure and prioritize the things that bring you joy. If you're ready for the next one, drop a heart in the chat for me, please. Drop a heart or a number 3 in the chat. Will this be available on replay? Yes, it will be. I'm going to share it here, and I'm probably going to share it on Facebook and YouTube as long as it saves. So fingers crossed that this puppy saves for me. Sometimes I get a call and I lose it. So thank you for the hearts. Yes, that is true. Y'all know I ain't lying, right? And it's crazy. Like once you start to, even if you don't have people to replace it with, just eliminating the negative sources does so much for your mental health. I haven't got rid of all my social media, obviously, because I'm here, but I did get rid of Twitter because Twitter will do one. It'll make you laugh, but it'll also make you pissed off. You know, like it'll share everything from political strife to people who don't like their kids, to people who are going viral because they said something crazy, to people who are just fighting for no reason, to people who are sharing something positive and then you're looking at the comments and someone just has to say something contrary. It's like, this is too much for me. So that was something that I personally got off about a week ago, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. Okay, number 3, the third thing to do to have a healthy self-love detox, if you are doing a period of resetting and you are feeling overwhelmed, is to not neglect your connection to people. I feel like this is the secret sauce. I feel like this is the one. This is the one that is really important to pay attention to. So the self-love detox, like I said, or as you may already know, is usually where you go inside yourself. You're eliminating all the distractions so that you can focus on what do I need to do? What makes me feel happy? What makes me feel healthy? What is it that I need, right? And it can be very easy to think that this is only going to be a one-person experience. However, what shakes people up when they exit their self-love detox is their interactions with people. They don't know how to hold the truth, the value, and the foundation that they have gained when conflict arises with other people, or even positive experiences arises with other people, right? It's very easy for you to create your own world and create your own fantasy when you're only doing it on your own. But when you go out in the world, if that's always rocked, then you're going to keep resetting. You're going to keep starting over. You're going to keep doing these moments of like self-love boot camp, to come out and feel like, man, one, I hate people because these people are messing with my mojo. They're messing with my flow. It'd be so much easier if I just lived on my own, right? It's going to make you more defensive of the people who it may feel like they're coming in to try to take the joy that you've really worked so hard to cultivate, that they don't understand you, right? So what I would say is not that you necessarily put yourself in big groups of people, but that you let in a safe, healthy person in, if not as an accountability partner, but still maintain that friendship, right? Still check in with them about what you're doing, about how you're feeling, right? About what you're thinking. Part of what you're going to find, depending on how you do your self-love detox, is a deeper connection and relationship with yourself. And if you do that, you're going to find that not only are you love, you are love, that you embody love, that love is available for you. It's going to fill you up so much that you're going to want to share it with people. You're going to want to express it with people. And so it's going to be really good for you to practice doing that with people who are safe, with people who understand you, with people who get you, right? With people who are going to allow you to be you, right? And aren't going to judge you and aren't going to tell you that what you think and what you feel is wrong, right? So finding those people if you need to, or if you already have them, allowing them in. Okay, so I have time for one question before I sign off. Are there any questions about what I shared about how to have a healthy self-love detox? If that is something that you're needing to do, I will wait a moment while y'all chat or while y'all type in case there is a question. If not, then I will sign off for today. Again, I'm talking about these things today because reclaiming ourselves is really important. A few months ago when I decided to do the Reclaiming Me workshop, it was because of things like this. It's because I've seen so many women try to do these detoxes or do them and still feel like there's a piece of themselves, there's a piece of, there's an ache, there's like a corner of it that they can't reach. And so that's why we're doing that deep dive in October at our Reclaiming Me workshop. And you can learn more about that and exactly what we're going to be doing by going to blackgirlsheal.org/reclaim. Okay, all I see are hearts and thank yous and good stuffs and thank yous. Okay, great, then we're good. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you in our next live. I just dropped our podcast episode for the week about an hour or two ago, and it's about learning how to feel safe in your body. And what that looks like, what that feels like for you. So I hope that y'all enjoy it. Make sure y'all comment on that post once it goes live, and let me know your thoughts or your questions. And that's it. And thank you. Thank you for the love. You said I look gorgeous. Thank you, girl. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.